In every domain of life, relationships have served an important meaning.
Historically, they saved hundreds of Neanderthals from poisonous berries and strengthened the power of kingdoms. Today, relationships help to build people's self-esteem and offer a confidant when one is needed. Even in a dystopian society like the one portrayed in Kazuo Ishiguro's controversial novel Never Let Me Go, relationships serve a powerful meaning. The characters' complex friendships creates an intricate story centered around the value of human life using setting, manipulation, and memories. Setting is a prevalent contribution in every book. In Never Let Me Go, Ishiguro uses three main settings to help elaborate the power and structure of the relationships between the three main characters, Kathy, Ruth, and Tommy. Kathy, the narrator, initially starts in Dover but is quick to change the setting to the first essential location in the story, Hailsham. Hailsham was a private, disconnected academy the main characters grew up in. This provided a sheltered environment for the students to understand who they were. Thinking back now, we knew a few things about ourselves, about who we were. The students know they are clones, already making themselves outcasts, but they learned exactly what that meant when they confronted Madame. She was afraid of them because of that fact. The students, realizing the implications of this encounter, formed closer relationships with each other, and this can be seen throughout the book. Kathy rarely talks to someone who isn't a clone, and is never seen to be friends with any normal people, but instead holds on to her attachments to Ruth, Tommy, and her past. This shows how she loves that part of her life, the innocence and freedom she and her friends had while at Hailsham. After leaving the school in their childhood, the main characters move on to the cottages. Here, they experience adulthood and mainly a loss of innocence. During their time at the cottages, the students are able to drift apart from each other, creating rifts between them. Before leaving Hailsham, Kathy wouldn't normally pick fights with Ruth, but here, she starts to stand her ground. In one instance, she states, "As soon as I said this, I realized I made a huge mistake. I saw a gleam come into Ruth's eyes." Kathy and Ruth fight about how the couples at the cottages are copying TV couples, and also about how Kathy begins to have sexual urges. In both situations, Ruth tells her off and they drift apart. These rifts in their relationships represents a time of maturing and personal growth all people go through during a heavy transition. For the characters, it's when they were thrown from a very sheltered setting into the real world. This, however, is not a permanent fix. After Kathy and her friends move on from the cottages, they go to the caring centers where they either give donations or care for those who had. Both Ruth and Tommy start giving donations much earlier than Kathy, who ends up becoming their carer. Ishiguro uses the caring centers to construct a benevolent atmosphere to show that people can come back together even after being apart physically and emotionally for years. At the caring centers, the old friends begin to reform the bridges that have been weakened at the cottages, specifically with Ruth. The instant I saw her again, all our differences seemed not clearly as important. Kathy and Ruth reunite and mend their relationship, using the power Ishiguro gave the caring centers to restore and reminisce about their friendship. Manipulation is used as a catalyst that develops the relationships between Kathy, Ruth, and Tommy, while raising questions on what makes them human. These three share the same childhood at Hailsham and so are forced to live a life set out for them. Their teachers makes it clear their roles in society and quickly destroy dreams the students have. Their lives are set out for you. The students have no say in what they want and are quick to follow orders. They understand they are clones, and this mainly affects them later on, where they explore what it means to be human. When Kathy, Ruth, and Tommy embark on the search for their possibles, they also seek to understand who and what they are. Again, at the cottages, Kathy notices the veteran couples only mimicking what they see from television. Ishiguro uses the scene to re-emphasize that the students of Hailsham have no experience on what it means to be human, and their lives from beginning to end was only a copy of society's norms. In attempting to be considered human, Kathy and Tommy are perceived by Madame as an unnatural and forced. She saw and decided in a second what we were. Madame is able to see through the imitated love Tommy and Kathy have from the start. In attempting to be normal, Kathy and Tommy adopt this love. These three maintain their relationships to cope with their faded lives and the prejudice they face as clones. Never Let Me Go is written as a flashback, and look backward into Kathy's life. This idea of memory is very important through the novel as it expresses how the main character cannot let go of her past relationships, and that concept shows her humanity. Ishiguro starts the entire novel before the first page when he titled the book Never Let Me Go. Already, this shows that he plans to demonstrate the intimate relationships that the characters share among each other, and how even after they're gone, Kathy will never let them go. This is supported throughout the novel, as she even thinks about her closest friend and lover, Tommy. In the final pages of the novel, "It was only a couple of weeks since I lost him, and if I waited long enough, I'd see it was Tommy, and he'd wave, maybe even call." Tommy is dead, and she still yearns for him to return to her. Ishiguro includes this in the concluding paragraph as a point that Kathy lives in her memories. All that she had, friendships, love, and happiness are now only in her memories. This shows that she is human and mortal. She has experienced this grief that now lives in her memories, and she embraces the emotions that accompany these memories as she stands in the trashy fields and weeps for Tommy. However, she did try to forget. Very early on, Ishiguro illustrates, "I've told myself I shouldn't look back so much, but then there came a point where I just stopped resisting." Kathy finally succumbs to her patience and relives all her past. This stirs powerful memories and forces her to feel all the loss and beauty that she once felt. The memories humanize her and flesh out the relationships that she creates with the other characters. All in all, Ishiguro molds Kathy's memories to perfectly craft her image as a beautiful human being that is capable of connecting with others through emotion as she recollects her memories. In conclusion, the power of setting, manipulation, and memories in Ishiguro's Never Let Me Go creates a phenomenal exhibition of the character's humanity through their relationships. The way Ishiguro uses each of these significant properties show how he intended to create a work that represents the value of human life and experiences and how it can bring anyone together, human or clone.